But now when I went pawn takes pawn, pawn takes pawn, knight takes pawn, I'm up a pawn, and I'm threatening to win that one, so he pushes his pawn, and I go to attack it, and now he can force a draw by perpetual check. Have we spoken about perpetual check? Do we talk about the 5 ways to get a draw?
No.
Well, actually, there's 6 ways. You could offer your opponent a draw, and he could say yes. But the 5 ways that you can draw over the board is insufficient material. So king against king, for example, nobody can checkmate. Stalemate. Did we talk about stalemate? Where you're, if your king has, if you leave your opponent without a move and he's not in check, that's a stalemate, which is a draw. I'll show you some examples later on. There's also the 50 move rule. Let's say you have a queen and a king versus his king, and if you can't checkmate him in 50 moves, that's also a draw. Otherwise, the game could last forever. There's perpetual check, where you can keep checking the guy forever, and then there's a triple repetition of position. So that's what happens here. He now goes check. Where can my king go? My king can't go here because his pawn is blocking. My own pawn is blocking my king here. His bishop's guarding that square. And it doesn't matter which one of these 3 squares I go to, he can just keep checking me forever. So we agreed to a draw by perpetual check. I'm up a pawn, but luckily for him, he had that draw. And he had to take the draw because if he tries to push the pawn, I'm pretty sure now I might be winning, because now I can attack that pawn again. And now he doesn't have the perpetual check anymore, I don't think. He could go check here, there, check here, and now I don't see how he can guard that pawn. It's attacked twice. Of course, he could take my pawn, and then I guess I could take his pawn, and I'll still have an extra pawn, but yeah, why fight for a draw when he can force the perpetual check? The 3-fold repetition by perpetual check. So that was a game which showed you a lot of the different strategies: outposts, backward pawns, isolated pawns, half-open files, and there were checkmating possibilities for both sides. He was trying to checkmate me, I was trying to checkmate him, and eventually the game ended in a draw. So let's look at stalemate. I'm surprised I haven't mentioned stalemate to you. The most common stalemate happens in the end game, where in this position, white is trying to queen his pawn, and it's black to move. The king only has 3 possible moves: here, here, or here. Can't go there because of the pawn, can't go there because of the pawn, and these 3 squares the white king is guarding. One of those moves is a draw for black, and the other 2 lose. So if you were black and you have to choose between D8, E8, or F8, what square would you go to? And it involves something called the opposition. I don't know if we mentioned the opposition, but now's a good time to mention it.
You want more?
The opposition in chess involves kings. So in order for that pawn to queen, I need my king to get to one of these 2 squares. If my king can get to one of these 2 squares, I can push the pawn in and make a queen. Now the whole idea behind the opposition is to prevent my king from getting to one of those 2 squares. So the correct move is here.
Here, yeah.
So you can't.
Yeah, he cannot make a queen.
But here, this would lose. Now why would that lose? Because now white would get what we call the opposition. He would be attacking the king. If the king goes there, the pawn can just go forward and it's going to make a queen. So he would have to go to this square, and now white would push the pawn, and black would only have 1 legal move, and now the king makes it to that square, and the pawn becomes a queen. The same would happen if the king went on this side. White would go here and get the opposition. You can't go there because this would make a queen, so you have to go to this square, you push the pawn, and now the king gets to that square. So if he goes to the correct square, and now white goes here, black goes there, and now white pushes the pawn check, black goes there. Now white has 2 bad choices. The only square he can go to guard that, if he moves his king away, he loses the pawn, and that's a draw by insufficient material. So he goes to this square, but why is that a draw? That's what we call a stalemate. It's black to move. Can black make a move?
No.
Have to. Black has no moves. He can't move his king at all, but he's not in check. Now, about 4 or 5 years ago, I was playing at a tournament at the New Yorker Hotel, and my opponent was being an idiot. We got this exact position. Well, here's what happened. We got this exact position. He moved his king there, banged the clock, put his elbows like this, and was staring at me. And there were about 20 people watching the game. The guy was being an idiot because it's a draw. So I said, I offer a draw. And the guy got real angry because everybody started laughing at him. And he walked out of the room very angry. But this is a draw. I mean, there's no legal move for black to make. And he's not in check. Now,
Check,
if he
yeah.
was in check, to show you the difference, let's add another piece. Let's put a knight here. Let's say it was this position, and now white, that's checkmate. Because not only can't the king move,
But he is in
he's
check.
also in check.
Yeah.
But here, this is a stalemate because under the rules of chess, you have to alternate moves. White can't make 2 moves in a row, and now it's black's turn, and black doesn't have a move, so the game is in a draw. So stalemate is one of the 5 ways that you can draw a game. Now let's see, you guys want to play. That's pretty much the
Lead
lesson
was
part.
Narni. Lead
Why
was.
don't we set up a board